in there are serious, big time gangsters, and there's no messing around. If they're gonna get you, or they want revenge on you, or you're having a fight and something happens afterwards, the reprisals that come back, it's not just going to be beat up with your fists or hit over the head with a chair leg. It's going to be objects, sharp objects. You're going to be getting cut up, you're going to be getting hot oiled, or they're going to try and take your eye out. It's like serious. If you get trouble in them prisons, you're fucked. You're unless you've got the backup and you've got, or you're not arse and you're just going to attack yourself, then you've got to be very careful in them prisons. But I went through my time in Franklin without any bother. There was only one time when I got into a little bit of an altercation, but it was just with some lad. He was a bit of a fucking half-wit, and it was in the art class, because in Franklin I used to go to art class. So when I was in the art class, this lad, he used to keep trying to take the piss, but he's a bit simple, and I was getting a bit sick of it. He used to keep fucking calling us because my dad was on the same wing as us. He was shouting fucking, calling us daddy's boy. We're saying that to someone who's already a bit hot-headed. I used to just let it go, but this one day he said daddy's boy, and I fucking picked I picked one of the things up in the classroom that were used for the oil paintings to scrape the oil off. It's like a sharp object. I tell him, I said, pick that up. I said, shut the fuck up, or this is getting put straight in your eye. Obviously I didn't mean it, but I was just angry at the time. I was only 21-year-old and hot-headed. And I think he realised then, and then he just clamped up, and he didn't say nothing more after that was sort of got on. I just sort of didn't really speak to him. But things like that, situations, you can get into serious trouble in them places if someone's being cheeky to you. I mean, if he'd said that to the wrong person who was worse, like hot-headed to fuck, he would have gotten seriously hurt, you know. But you've just got to know how to handle these situations and know how to present yourself. Because when you're in, like I say, when you're in the high security estate, if you're out on the wing and you're looking at someone in a certain way and you're giving them a funny look, or someone's giving you a funny look, it's going to go off big style. Like, you're not just going to go and fucking slap them, you're going to go and fucking mental, aren't you? But this is the type of scenarios I'm talking about in Franklin, and I've spoke about some of the violent offences that I seen whilst I was in Franklin plenty of times on my other videos and on the podcasts that I've done, so I'll not go into them too much. But I've seen people getting hot oil tipped over them, skin peeling off their heads. One of them was a terrorist. Then another terrorist done it to one of the Geordie lads. I've seen a lad getting stabbed in the neck with a coffee jar full of chili powder rammed in his neck, twisted. All the chili powder went in his cut. Seen someone getting stabbed in the neck with a big spike about that long. He was on the walkway coming back from the workshops. We're walking up, and you've got you're just in a sort of a cage everywhere you go in Franklin. You've got the big metal fences, I'd say they're about fucking 20 foot high, with barbed wire on the top, and this is just on the walkway coming back from the workshops. And this lad off the other wing, off G wing, because we all got mixed in as we're walking back together, he was getting a lad on my wing, on F wing, and one of the lads I was walking with, he said, watch this. He nudged us, he says, watch what's going to happen here. So I was watching, and the lad just went jogging up, jogging past, and he had the spike, and he just went bang, just rammed it in his neck, pulled it out, and just kept on running. Bits of blood fucking squirting out his neck, and the lad was like that. He hadn't even realised what had happened. But that's the type of things that you see in Franklin. Naughty acts of violence. If you're going to get done in Franklin, you're getting done properly. So a bit of advice, if anyone ends up there, just keep your head down, get on with your drill, and don't get involved in none of the politics. So after about 3 years in there, I got moved back up to Accrington, HMP Accrington. Cassington and Accrington is now one big prison. It's now HMP Northumberland. But I've done a full circle. I went from Cassington to Durham to Franklin, back to Accrington. So it's a big loop all the way back up there. Now I was into my 5th year whilst I got there. And Accrington, which is now HMP Northumberland, is a Category C prison. And again, once you go from the high security estate down to a Cat C prison, you've got a total different class of prisoner. Back up there, you're just amongst everyone that's on drugs. Excuse me. Everyone's off their heads on drugs. they're just running around like, they look like scruffs, because you can wear your own clothes up there, but the majority of them just run around with the grey prison tracksuit on. With the grey prison tracksuit makes you look scruffy. Most people that haven't got anything is the ones that run around with the tracksuits on, and these are the ones that are always on the drugs. But you did see quite a bit of fighting up there. I mean, mostly it was over drugs. But when you got up there, I think D-Wing was the induction wing. Then you get moved on to the other wings. I got moved on to E-Wing, which is right next door to D-Wing. And then you had what we used to call the Bronx, which was F and G wing, which was the rough wings, and there was always something happening on there. But when you got exercise, we all got exercise together, so there was like D, E, F and G, and you all walked round in the middle of the yard. And see, in a yard it was like a grassed area with a path going round, but everyone walked around the pathed area, and it was a big circle onto the yard. Like I say, all the wings mixed in. But I'll tell you a little thing about exercise yards. Every exercise yard you go onto in prison, the prisoners walk anti-clockwise. It's well, the majority of them that do. I was just doing it that way. It's the other way actually. So when you're on the yard, most of them, everyone's walking anti-clockwise. I don't know if it's a bit of a fucking reaction whilst you're in prison, like fucking, instead of going the right way, we're going the wrong way. But I just thought I'd let you know that little thing, because a couple of the lads who've spoke about it before said, have you ever noticed when you're on the yard, you're always walking anti-clockwise? But a lot of the times you used to see some of the fights, and the fights would happen on the yard. And I remember, I think I was on E-Wing with a kid from Sunderland, Ratty, good lad. Shout out to Ratty. I think he's in Long Lawton at the minute. Hope he gets on. Got a big stretch the last time. But Ratty was a good kid in prison. He was a quiet lad. Just got on with his time. Didn't let no one fuck about with him. Strong fucker in the gym as well. But we were walking around the yard together, and there was a kid off F wing shouting at him from behind. He was walking behind us. And it's the first time I've seen Ratty have a fight. And well, I wouldn't even say it was a fight. Ratty just obliterated him. The kid shouting at Ratty, giving him loads of grief, and Ratty was like didn't want nothing to do with it. But the kid kept going, so Ratty just turned around, bang, 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 fucking smashed him to bits in about 3 seconds. Chucked about 10 combos, just knocked the kid straight out on the floor. Just kept on walking. Screws didn't get onto it or not. But that was just some of the things that happened up there. Like I say,